My name is Shashank. I come from a small village in India, from Maharashtra. Like after my graduation, I've been living in Tokyo for like around 6 years now. I'm working currently as a senior data scientist with MetLife, Japan. I come from a small village, and where in my village there weren't really good schools. So I was very fortunate enough to get into a school called Navodaya Vidyalaya. So there I completed my education until 12th standard. Then after that, I knew that I wanted to go into engineering, and I did my engineering from government college in engineering, government college of engineering in Maharashtra. And then after that, that time I wanted to get into IIT, but I somehow, I couldn't kind of afford to repeat and all those things. But I made a decision, and I found a way into IIT via GATE. So I got into IIT Delhi soon after my BTech. I kind of focused on the projects and the subjects that will take me towards my dream job. So I kind of, picked projects also which were similar to the jobs being offered to our senior, so that I was preparing myself for those kind of companies and the interviews. And lucky enough, the companies that I was targeting, they come for the campus placements on the first day, and it was very much related to what they were expecting. So I got selected into NEC Corporation, which is a company from Japan. They came for the recruitment in India, and I started my career like roughly 6 years before as a researcher, and it was a research job. So basically, staying connected with all the recent advancements in technology. And then while working as a researcher, our main job was to come up with new inventions, apply for patents, submit papers for conferences, international conferences. One of the feeling I had is of course we have these new invention, everything, but they are kind of futuristic. Even though we develop, but they are maybe like 5 years or 10 years down the line. But I really wanted to see my contributions going into the actual business, and some services like helping the customers and everything. That's where I decided to move inside my company to the division where they actually use this technology to make the real products for customers. So that's where I switched my profile into AI platform architect and moved into the AI division of our company. And then I was looking after the roles of collaboration between our global research labs and bringing those technologies onto the platform, and where we make solutions for the customers. And then again, that is also quite exciting. But then again, since I realized we are the one who give products to different companies, but we do not have the data. And then I also felt the need that I personally want to work with the data and find the insight myself. So then I was looking for a company which have lots of this data, and I can actually leverage these technologies to myself solve those business problems and derive some insights. So that's where I find this job, and it's basically quite what I was looking for, maybe. And I'm enjoying a lot, because you develop something today, and tomorrow you can see the results, how your model or your work, how is it performing, how are the results, and how much it is contributing. So it's a quite fast feedback on your work, and that's quite exciting, I would say. Yeah. So MetLife is a global company, and Japan, in Japan also they have big market, and it's an insurance company, and we have a lot of mostly insurance products related to life insurance and medical insurance. And as a data scientist, my job is to we have a lot of data as an insurance company, and as a data scientist, my job is to leverage state of the art AI technologies to derive some useful insights, which we can share with the top executives and they can take decisions. Maybe some of the work that I do can be, for example, what kind of products to sell to our customer based on their needs and age and their income. We also have like a lot of customer care. We have calls from customer. How can we analyze all that text data to find some calls which are more useful for feedback from the customer, or some actionable, like how can we improve our customer experience, or how can we based on the customer's requirement, how can we make new products. Those kind of different insights we find from the data by using like data science technologies, machine learning, and all those things, and we share with our top executives. Yeah, so that's basically it. So of course, I mean, coming to Japan is one of the like big change in my life, I would say. And like as many know, I mean, Japanese culture, language, their food habits, and their way of working, their way of communication is very different, and that was quite challenging in the beginning. Because even though I learned a bit of language in the beginning, but that was not sufficient enough to communicate with my colleagues. So that's where I faced some problem, but I took it as a challenge, like being an optimistic person. So I took it as a challenge, and like I feel that's a very good experience for me as a career, because they like Japan have a strong presence in, like, it's a big economy in the world, and there are a lot of the companies have spread throughout the world, and work experience of working with the Japanese people and Japanese company is quite very strong contribution to my career, I would say. So in insurance company, like as a role as a data scientist, one of the major companies for data scientists are insurance companies. And insurance company have a lot of data, because whenever someone makes policies, they share all this information with the company about their income statement, their family, and their the age, and then the health information, all those things. And as an insurer, it is our job to ensure that we sell suitable product to our customer. If the customer's income and the product's premium or the coverage is not matching to that customer, eventually that customer will leave that policy, he will surrender the policy, and that is neither good for the customer nor good for the company. So we have to ensure that there is a perfect match between the type of product we are recommending and the requirements of a customer. That's one part. Another part I talked about is like we have this customer care. We have a lot of calls coming from our customer. They could be some complaints about the product, or they are inquiring about some different offerings, or they are inquiring about their policies, or those things. So we have to, by looking at this data, this is all speech data. So one of the data science work is basically to convert that speech data into the text data, and then do the analytics on that text data to find okay, what kind of questions, like requirements from the customers, can be addressed into our FAQ sections, that they don't have to actually go and call our customer care centers. Or how can some of the things we can change the description in our product offering, so that the customer will not have those doubts and ambiguities about the product offerings. That would also help. We have these operators who are talking to our customers, and some of the operators, they are quite new, they don't know how to handle certain queries. So we can actually learn from the experts, the data from experts, and we can share that with our new operators to how to handle those kind of calls. So there are a lot of possibilities in this area. Now we are into an IT era. We have lot of platforms, online platforms, where you can have virtual classrooms. Your classmates can be anywhere in the world. There are a lot of courses on Coursera or something, and people complete those courses there. There are a lot of competitions, like for example in data science, it's a Kaggle. You can go on the Kaggle. There are a lot of real challenges from the real companies, and they actually offer awards, like in terms of like many, like tens of thousands of dollars as a prize money. And people can form a team, like members can be from anywhere in the world, and they form a team. They get up, they do brainstorming, and then they solve the problem and submit. So all those platforms are evolving. So your class and your reach and your circle is not the physical immediate people, is spread throughout the world. So if you can, I mean, if someone like a student is listening, what they can do is, like, they can really get themselves out. If they are, let's say, they weren't able to get into this, let's say, any of the reputed college, and if they are from any other colleges, what they can always do is improve on their programming skill, do the courses from the top universities. Like, there are courses from MIT, Stanford's, and everything. They have the same, or maybe many times better knowledge from the average student in, let's say, IIT. They can go onto these competition platforms. They can form team with the people from around the world, and they can contribute their solution, and all their achievements are visible out there in the platform. So if I have to choose a candidate, and if someone, like, there is a candidate from, let's say, IIT, and he is just good at programming and everything, and if someone there is uh, any college, let's say, other colleges, and he performed really good on some top competition on the Kaggle, I will be much, I mean, like, I really prefer taking that candidate who solved that problem and won that prize on Kaggle, because it's a strong proof that that candidate can solve a real world problem, and he have that curiosity to reach out to those different people, form a team, and actually do this thing. So it shows his proactiveness, like the ability to learn and all those things. So I think we already moved into that era, and everyone should take advantage of these things. uh, like, of course, I mean, I can throw some terminologies directly, these are the skills, but uh, and I do feel those terminologies really make sense after you have experienced those things. So for example, like, many times if someone, like a student, is looking for job descriptions, they come across terminologies like problem solving, communication skills, uh, let's say adaptability, learning new technologies. And like if you really don't think about, like, just like on a surface level, this just sounds some terminologies and words, and like you think that people really don't care about these things. But I feel actually those particular requirements means a lot more than any other job description that's there. Like, of course, C++, C, Python, and everything, that's all good. But problem solving, let's say, is one of the most important skill, I feel. Problem solving, because what you learn, how much you learn, how much mathematics you can do, or how much science you know, is of no use if you cannot apply that to real world to solve some real problems. So in summary, I would say problem solving, to find a real problem around you and solve that using whatever the technologies around that's available. And the second is adaptability. Find the trends that are happening in the world, like by keeping yourself updated with all the news and the blogs from the companies or that technology, and try to learn that technology, how to use that for work. Not in detail, like theory, everything that part you can explore when the time comes, but try to be hands-on and deliver something as fast as possible. There is no shortcut. You definitely learning a statistics, mathematics, all the algebra is already definitely going to help you, but that should not stop you doing something about it, like problem solving. Of course, you should do those things, take care of this like parallelly. But if you really want to make career, find some problem which can be addressed with the data science. And there are so many open source out there. There are so many blogs, so many ready-made libraries that you can use. start like first just get some problem, apply that library, try to get output, and then after output you can try to understand how the things happen inside that thing. And then if you want to expand, improve the accuracy of your result, then you can then again go into detail and go into detail, and that kind of learning will remain forever with you, rather than just first learning and then going for it. So the I think focus should be on the more applied and solving the problem, and then exploring the theoretical part as well, rather than first learning all the theory and then figuring out like what to solve now or something. And by the time, maybe even if you do the theory, by the time you do it, uh, probably there is already a tool which takes care of this automatically, and you don't need to do that anymore. So you need to, I mean, like, stay updated with all the state of the art libraries and everything. Keep reading different blogs from, let's say, your in your discipline, what are the different developments, and try to get hands on, try to solve some problems, real world problems around you, try to talk to the people in that community. Even if you don't have a problem, just go, there are different forums where people ask questions like how can they solve these problems, and if it's in your capacity you can help them solve their problem. That really improves your knowledge of the domain, and gives you new perspective to address different problem. The first thing is, the name itself is very intuitive, skill at will, and I really like the name. And basically the products or the solution that skill at will is offering is very much relates with the name, the skill at will. And in India, definitely, like lot of the students, they lack of this professionalism. And before they get into a career or job or these interviews, it's really important that they are kind of someone give feedback to them on their communication skill, how they speak and everything. It's usually possible. I mean, you can have friends and family, but friends and family, they cannot be very honest about it. So company like Skill at Will, if they go and someone who like, let's say someone from Skill at Will, the maybe the tutor, who are really experienced in that area, they can really give a constructive feedback to how they can improve and dictate the journey. And the pace at which the things are changing and the technology is changing, not everyone is in a position, or not everyone is fortunate to have someone to guide them where to go and what to do. So the companies like this can really help, I mean, change someone's career for good. And I really wish someone was there, or I was aware of these kind of platforms to go to and actually know the feedback, or what the proper people who are working on those job, what they feel and what are their recommendation. Well, I was fortunate that I had really good seniors, and they were really helpful, and every stage in my career they really helped me out. But that might not be the case with everyone, and that's where you can actually go and talk to the experts or the tutors from Skill at Will, which can really be helpful, I think. Yes.